Tim, I would like to thank you for being a participant today on the show. And Michelle, of course, thank you for putting this together so that we can have these events and kind of explore these talents and share our gifts, because it's like when we are working on self awareness, self healing, then it's wonderful to know who we can reach out to. And this is also kind of a great way for you to be able to see how these things are done so that you can be a little more comfortable with choosing the avenue in which you want to pursue, right? It's a great way to be able to do all of this. So, like, Michelle, thank you for being able to host this show and put this together for us.
You are so very welcome. I love doing things like this. Love showcasing how everyone has different talents and interests and how we can all help each other.
Well, and isn't that what we are designed for, is to help each other? So, Tim, I'd like to thank you today for showing up and being a volunteer. Have you, what kind of, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you would, and where you're at in the world.
Yeah, I'm a recovering veterinarian that moved to South Carolina about a year ago. I'm renovating a house. I now do solar. I've always been a servant leader. It's kind of how I was raised. The prep school I went to was centered around community service. We actually, the last period in the morning was community service period. We had our own fire department, our own post office, our own bank, landscaping crew. We actually had a zoo, and that's where I spent my time. And then moved to Colorado, a little over 40 years ago to go to veterinary school, and then uh, lived in the mountains west of Fort Collins and got tired of shoveling snow. 16 feet two winters ago, plus having to run away when the wildfires would come. Our house would have been evacuated 4 or 5 times last summer, so I've traded it for humidity and bugs and snakes.
Oh, well, you're a brave soul. Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to today's show. And of course, for those of you that are watching and paying attention today, Tim is agreed to be one of the very first clients today to kind of go through what it is I do. So I am Althea Mitchell. I am the owner of Direct Emotion LLC, and I am certified in the Emotion Code. The Emotion Code deals with, I'm going to show you a little chart so that you can see. It deals with 60 emotions. Okay, they're broken down into column A, column B, and then they kind of correspond apart to the body parts that they're kind of related to. Now, what they've kind of discovered is that our emotions really do play a huge part in how we conduct our daily lives. So, when we don't take care of emotional traumas, one of the ways that we start to gain this insight is it starts manifesting physically. We can have shoulder pain, back pain, knee pain, insomnia, different things like that. And so, when we're looking to correct issues, sometimes it is just getting them trapped emotions that are literally trapped in our body of little bits of energy, that getting them back out of the body so that we can start to recover, because truly our bodies are such miraculous things that they really have been created with everything to solve all of our problems. And so once we can start getting ourselves in line, then it allows the body and mind to start recovering and focusing on what it needs to instead of survival. Right. So, Tim, how do you feel about some of that kind of stuff? Are you in agreement with it? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I do actually. Even though I was trained in Western medicine, I don't have much faith in it. It's all about intervention. If on the human side, if you can't medicate it or surgicate on it, they don't know what to do. My son debated whether to do veterinary medicine or chiropractic. He chose chiropractic, and I actually have far more faith in Eastern medicine. So that all makes sense to me. Yeah, I would concur.
Oh, very good. Very good. All right. So, now, why there are sometimes when energy practices are not appropriate, of course, we don't want to speak outside our scope of practice. So we want to, of course, make sure that everybody knows, please consult your physician before starting this or any other program. Talk to them. Don't stop taking medication if you are on medication, because some of the medication has side effects when you stop it. So make sure that you're consulting the proper authorities when you are considering any kind of alternative practices. I, for one, love doing energy medicine and things like that because of the plain fact it allows me to actively participate in my own health. That's the bottom line. But emotion code is not going to put your guts back in if they're hanging out. Okay. So there is a place for everything, right? So, do you like that theory, Tim? It's just one of those things where you have to be smart when you are doing and learning new things. So please take that into consideration before beginning any kind of programs, okay? All right. So with that, what we're going to do is I'm going to be asking Tim a series of questions, this kind of stuff. One of the first questions is because I am a firm believer that I do not do anything without the person's consent. Um, Anybody that is over 18 can give their consent to have energy sessions with me. If it is with a child, then the parent does need to be present and the parent does need to give consent in order to have an emotion code session. Those are just my personal rules because of the plain fact I don't want to violate anything. I know how it feels to be violated and I don't want to do that to anybody else. So, Tim, one of the emotion code sessions are very, very simple. Okay. Um, I'm going to ask if I have your permission to tap into your energy. But before I do, I need to know how old you are.
64.
64. Okay. All right. Now, the other question that I have for you is, do you have anything particular that you would like to address during this short little session?
No, not in particular. I'm kind of
Okay.
a mess right now because one of my dogs was diagnosed with liver failure yesterday.
I'm sorry,
So
your dog was diagnosed with what?
liver failure,
Oh, goodness sakes.
yeah.
Okay.
So I am kind of emotional.
Gotcha, gotcha. Well, our pets really do take a lot for us, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Okay, so now just for anybody that wants to know, can you work on animals? Yes, you can. Energy sessions, emotion code sessions can be done on animals. It helps them to be able to adjust and take what we as humans give to them. And so, just so you're aware, we could also work on your dog. I don't know that it's going to correct it, okay, but it could ease, just so you're aware, all right? So, one of the first things that I'm going to do, Tim, is I'm going to ask if I have your permission to tap into your energy and work with you this way. During this time, I will be kind of tapping into your subconscious. So, I'll be asking a series of questions, kind of like, do you have a trapped emotion? If the muscle test says yes, then I'll be narrowing it down using the little chart that I showed earlier. Does that seem acceptable to you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So the biggest thing that you have to do is just kind of sit and relax and breathe as I tell you to. Does that
I,
sound simple?
I can do that.
Okay, perfect. All right. So Tim, I'm going to go ahead and ask, do I have your permission to tap into your energy and work with you this way today?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to have you take a breath in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Okay. All right. One of the first things I can feel some of the upset that you've experienced over the last little while. I can also feel kind of a little bit of tension within the shoulders. And it doesn't tell me exactly what's caused the tension, but what we're going to do is we're going to start finding out how you feel. So I want you to pay attention to how your body feels right now, okay? Just kind of notice the weight of your shoulders, kind of like how your mind feels. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to ask, do you have a trapped emotion? And it says yes. Is it in column A? Yes. Odd, low, even. Is it in 2, 4? Is it anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment? Yes. All right. So I'm just going to write down this. We're going to ask if we need to know anything else about this. And it says, no, we don't. Sometimes our emotions are like little drama queens. Sometimes they need to just be recognized. And then other times we need to find out a little more detail, maybe an age at which it happened, or if you have gotten it from a parent. Unfortunately or fortunately, we don't need to know anything more about this resentment, so we're going to release that. So I'm going to have you take a breath in through your nose and just breathe out. Now, by releasing, we use the governing meridian of the energy body within us. And because I've been granted permission, it's kind of like proxy work. So we're going to ask now, did we release that resentment? Yes. And we're just going to continue on this way. Do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, two? Is it failure, helplessness, hopelessness? Yes. Okay, do we need to know anything about this one? No, we're going to just release this one. Breathe in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, one? Is it abandonment, betrayal, forlorn, lost? Lost is right there. Do we need to know anything about this? No, we're going to go ahead and release this. Just breathe in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, two? Is it failure, helplessness, hopelessness? Yes. Okay. Do we need to know anything about this one? No. So I'm going to have you breathe in slowly and then breathe out quick. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? No. All right. So this is what we call just a general release. This is how we start off every session when you book one. And what we do is we just release what is necessary without directing it in any direction. So now that you've just released four emotions, four trapped emotions, how would you feel about the four that we just released? Would you agree with them?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And how is your body feeling? Can you feel a difference?
No,
No? Okay. All
feels
right.
about the
That's all
same.
right. I'm sorry.
It feels about the same.
Okay. All right. So what we want to do is we want to be able to work on something specific for you. Okay. So is there now you mentioned that your animal, your dog, just was diagnosed with liver failure and that you're a tad bit emotional about that. Um, do you mind if we work on that relationship with your dog?
That's fine.
Okay. And what's your dog's name?
Yanni.
Yanni. Ah, I kind of like Yanni's music.
Yeah, it's short for Wild Blue Yonder. She has striking blue eyes.
Well, maybe at the end of this video, you can show us Yanni. Maybe
Sure.
she'll join us. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So we're going to ask, just kind of, we're going to poke around the situation with your animal. Okay. So we're going to ask, is there a trapped emotion associated with Yanni? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, one? Is it abandonment, betrayal, forlorn, lost? Lost is right there. Do we need to know anything about this? No. So I'm just going to have you breathe in slowly and we're going to release this and just go ahead and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion associated with Yanni? No. Okay, that's very good because one thing that we don't want you to feel while caring for our fur babies is we don't want you to feel lost. We want you to be able to feel like you know what you're doing, that you're doing everything that you can. One of the biggest troubles that we feel is sometimes it's like we don't feel like we do enough or that we feel like we've let them down. Um, with this feeling of loss, it's like being able to let that go and release that. It allows other things to be able to come up that need to be resolved as time goes by. Okay. One of the things that we want to be able to do is we want to make sure that you feel that you're doing everything that you can. So we want to make sure that we're asking, is there a trapped emotion that is keeping you from feeling that you're doing everything you can? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, even, two, four? Is it anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, resentment? Okay. Do we need to know anything about this? No, we're going to release this. I'm just going to have you just breathe normal. Okay, and did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion that's keeping you from feeling like you're doing everything you can? No. That's very good. Just one. It's kind of interesting to me, the resentment when it starts surfacing. What are your thoughts on that, Tim?
Resentment in what regard?
Well, resentment can come from, of course, anything. This is the unique thing about the emotion code is I can we could specifically tie this resentment down to a specific time. However, it doesn't reveal what event it was linked to me. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah,
Would you like to know the time frame of when this resentment was?
sure.
Okay. So we're going to ask for further healing purposes, this last resentment that was locked in the body, was it locked in there before the age of 60, 50, 40, 30, 20? Okay, before the age of 25, so 26. At the age of 26, this one was locked in. What month is your birth in?
April.
April. Okay. All right. So, do you remember what you were doing around the age of 26?
I'm just trying to think how old I was, what year that was. So it would have been, yeah, that fits.
Interesting. Okay. So, this event that created this resentment, would you like a little further resolve around it?
Yes.
Okay, so because we are doing a live session, we're going to just label it the event around the resentment at age 26, okay?
Okay.
All right. So we're going to ask, is there a trapped emotion associated with the resentment at the age of 26? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it depression, frustration? Yes. Okay. Do we need to know anything about this? No. So I'm going to have you just breathe normal. We're going to release this. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion associated with the resentment at the age of 26? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2? Is it failure, helplessness, hopelessness? Yes. Do we need to know anything? No. We're going to release this hopelessness. Just breathe normal. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion associated with the resentment at the age of 26? No. Okay, do those other two emotions, do they make sense with that event?
Yeah. Yes, they do.
Okay. So now I want you to kind of take a breath in and I want you to roll your shoulders back. How is that feeling in your shoulders?
Good.
Okay. Have you felt any difference within your body so far? Do you feel a little
Well,
lighter?
I did. I was kind of feeling some tingling in my cervical area, and that seems to have resolved.
Okay, very good. Now, it's a lot of fun when you get into using the emotion code. I want you to know, like it's a lot of fun, because if you can take the approach of curiousness, then it allows you to go in and just release and work through a lot of trapped emotions that are tied to different events in our life. Why we may not always be right on task and everything like that with our emotional wellness, like this is one of the quickest ways that I've been able to find so far to identify a trapped emotion and remove it regarding anything. Um, just so you know, as you kind of think about this for the rest of the day, I want you to kind of pay attention to how you feel as you go throughout the rest of your day. So, Tim, I want to thank you. I'm going to go ahead and tap out of your energy. And this is just kind of to give you just kind of a showcase of what you can kind of expect with it, okay? All
Okay.
right, so I'm going to have you take a breath in and I'm going to go ahead and tap out of your energy. Okay. All right. So as you kind of sit and listen to the next session, then kind of think about your own, and then we're going to kind of go over just a few little things, and we'll talk about some things that have kind of happened or questions that you may have regarding. Okay. All right. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. Thank you. And Michelle L. We've got two Michelles. How are you doing, Michelle? L. Oh, and now she's froze. Oh, there you are. Okay. Are you able to hear us, Michelle?
Oh, she can't hear. Okay, check.
because I can hear her.
Yeah, I can hear her playing with her camera, with her phone.
Well, okay.
She just turned off the... Oh, she just popped up for a minute. All right.
All right.
Hopefully she'll pop back in. But in the meantime, so I have been working with Althea for the last, 2 months now?
I think it's been about that, yeah.
And even though I do the Akashic Records, it has been very beneficial for me to even find some stuff that has been hanging around since I was 2 to 3 years old. And then to where I can go into the Akashic Records at that point and go, okay, how do I resolve this? How do I take care of this? And here comes Michelle again.
Okay. Well, I just find it amazing how all of this stuff just works together. Okay, so Michelle, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well.
Hey!
All right. So, Michelle, have you been able to kind of hear what was going on as you've been setting up and connecting with us?
Yes, some of it.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm going to thank you for being here and being a willing participant so that I can kind of show off what I do so that people can understand. And I love your cat, by the way, Tim. Yeah. Oh, he is beautiful. It is a boy, right? Okay, perfect. All right. So, Michelle, we kind of worked with Tim just a little bit. And what we're doing is we're just kind of working on just a couple of things really quick because our time is limited on the show and everything like that. But of course, I need to get just a couple of things from you. First, I need to know how old you are.
I'm 55.
55. Okay, perfect. All right. So, Michelle, I'm going to ask, do I have your permission to tap into your energy and work with you this way today?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so I'm going to have you just take a breath in while I tap in.
Okay.
Okay. All right, there you are. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. So, okay, I can feel that you've had a lot of stuff going on. Okay. And I can
Yes.
feel that some of it is kind of uncertainty. This is so interesting. It's always very interesting to go from male energy to female energy because it's so different. Okay, so Michelle, we're going to do what we call just a general release where I'm going to just get rid of what you're willing to get rid of without directing it, okay? All
Okay.
right, so I'm going to ask, do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it anger, bitterness? Yes. Okay. Do we need to know anything about this? No, we're going to release this. Just take a breath in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it depression, frustration? Frustration is right there. Do we need to know anything about this? No, we're going to release this one. Just breathe in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it depression? Yes. Okay, do we need to know anything about this one? No. I'm going to have you take a breath in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2? Is it failure, helplessness, hopelessness? Yes. Okay. Do we need to know anything about this? No. I'm going to have you take a breath in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? No. All right. What does that feel like to have those 4 emotions brought to your attention and kind of released?
It feels good. When you got to hopeless, I kind of felt like crying. That just
Now,
popped up.
Yep. It's very interesting how our emotions really just kind of affect us, right? Like
Yeah.
when we go to release them. And so I want you to know that if you do feel like crying and a tear drops, it's okay. Let it drop. One
Okay.
of the trapped emotions that we get is crying because we get into situations where we're like, well, I can't let them see me cry. Whatever you do, don't cry,
Right.
and we shove that down, right? And then we pile a whole bunch of stuff on it because, well, we can't cry, you know?
Exactly.
And so just know that if you do have a tear fall, it's okay. Let it happen. All right.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you, is there anything in particular that you would like to work on
Oh God, where to start?
at the beginning?
Yeah, yeah, okay. Um, yeah, just making me chill out, I guess.
Okay. So have you had a problem with anxiety?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So let's work on your anxiety a little bit. Okay. How
Okay.
anxious right now are you feeling on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being like, oh my gosh, I need to, take something, or 0 being like, I'm pretty mellow.
I'm probably about 5.
Okay, a 5. All right.
Mm.
So there's a couple of things that we're going to do this way, okay? One of the things that we're going to do is we're going to ask if there's a trapped emotion causing, contributing, and then creating, okay?
Okay.
So we're going to ask first, is there a trapped emotion that is causing the anxiety? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it depression, frustration? Frustration is right there. Okay, do we need to know anything about this? No, we're going to release this. Just breathe in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion that is causing the anxiety? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, 1? Is it abandonment, betrayal? Yes. Do we need to know anything about this? No. I'm going to have you take a breath in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion that is causing the anxiety? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, 1? Is it abandonment? Yes. Do we need to know anything about this? No. We're going to release this one. Just breathe in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion that is causing the anxiety? No. Okay. How is your body starting to feel?
Whoa. Like grounded and like heavy, but in a good way, not like spastic energy.
I
Yeah,
totally
I
get
feel
that.
good.
Okay, so we're going to work this just a little bit further. And we're going to ask, is there a trapped emotion that is contributing to the anxiety? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it depression? Yes. Do we need to know anything about this? No. We're going to release this one. Just take a breath in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion that is contributing to the anxiety? No. Okay, perfect. Is there a trapped emotion that created the anxiety? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, 1? Is it abandonment? Yes. Do we need to know anything about this? No. We're going to release this one. Just breathe in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion that created the anxiety? No. Okay. So we're going to take this one step little further, because when we have trapped emotions that we ask that created the situation and there is something that comes up, we want to pay attention to what created it, right?
Right.
Okay. So we are going to ask, this abandonment, was it locked into the body before the age of 50, 40, 30? Okay, before the age of 35. So 36, 37. So this abandonment was at the age of 37. Do you remember what was going on at the age of 37?
Um, kind of.
Okay. I know, right? It's like, if I wanted to remember, I wouldn't have blocked it out, right?
Right. Yeah. I know it
So,
wasn't probably fun.
okay. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to ask if there's anything around this abandonment that also kind of locked that into place to help kind of create this anxiety level. So we're going to ask, is there a trapped emotion associated with the abandonment at the age of 37? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows, even? 2, is it anxiety? Yes. How interesting that it would create itself, right?
No kidding.
Do we need to know anything? No. So we're going to release this. I'm going to have you take a breath in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion that created? Is there a trapped emotion associated with the abandonment at the age of 37? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even? 2, 4. Is it depression? Yes. Do we need to know anything about this? No. We're going to release this. Just breathe in and breathe out. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion associated with the abandonment at the age of 37? No. Okay, so I'm going to have you take a breath in and I'm going to have you roll your shoulders back. And how is that feeling within your body?
Yeah, I feel good. I feel calm.
Okay, perfect. All right. So with that, I'm going to have you go ahead and tell us. Now, when you first started doing this, we asked what your anxiety level was at. You said a 5. How would you rate it now?
Like 0.01.
Very
It's really
good.
low. Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. So Michelle, I'm going to thank you for being a part of this, and I'm going to tap out of your energy, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on and things like that. Okay.
Okay, great.
All right. So I'm going to have you take a breath in. All right. Perfect. All right. So as we kind of get into this, as you've discovered, like we just identified just the trapped emotions that are kind of around situations and what you've been kind of feeling. What were your thoughts before you had the session?
I was just like rushing around, so of course that would create more anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how am I going to get this done? Da 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 da.
And so how are you feeling now that you've had just a small session?
Yeah, much calmer. Like, it's all good. I'll get there.
Very good. So what
Yeah.
was the most interesting thing about just this short little session for you? What was the most interesting thing?
Well, I figured like anger and resentment would show up, but abandonment surprised me. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this abandonment. Okay, now most people think that the abandonment can come from where we are left, right? But when
Yeah.
you think about it, it does. But how many times are we left? What our body can take as abandonment can just be simply having a conversation with somebody and they walk away too soon.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like, okay, seriously, I was just talking and they walked away. And
Right.
now all of a sudden we're like, okay, what do I do? So it's kind of funny how we trap emotions. But one thing that I want you to understand is they really do layer. So when we look at your list, Michelle, then the very first one that you had was the feeling of hopelessness in your general release. And then
Yeah.
depression was on top of it. And then
Yeah.
frustration. And then bitterness. So in order to start healing it, you work from the top to the bottom. That's how
Okay.
we peel it. Okay. So
Okay.
when we look at these situations and things like that, it's a matter of taking the time, because you took the time to trap the emotion, you have to take the time to release it. So that's just the way it is. Now,
Yeah.
Tim, if you would, what was kind of your thoughts before the session started and after? And just so you know, you're muted.
Mhm.
Oh, we can't hear you at all.
Tim, unmute yourself.
Sorry, my bird started squawking, so I muted myself.
Oh, good.
Well, I didn't really have any preconceived notion going in, but yeah, it all makes sense, and and I could feel the differences physically. So
And, well, and this is so cool. So with you, I mean, there was a few trapped emotions that was going on and everything like that. How did you feel that they were accurate?
yes,
Okay, and Michelle, would you agree the trapped emotions that were discovered were accurate for you?
Oh yeah. definitely.
Now, okay, so I want to know, do you guys have any questions? Michelle, do you have any questions about how this works or what goes on with it?
No, I'm pretty open. Like I know energetically things just work.
Yeah. Well, Tim, what about you? Do you have any questions or anything like that?
Not that I can think of. No.
Okay, well, geez, you two are easy. Now, this is Yanni that's on your lap, right?
Correct.
Okay, so if you would have Yanni turn and look at the camera, if you can get Yanni. Oh, she's like,
Oh,
"Oh, hi, Yanni." I can tell just by looking at her that she has a lot going on. So, has she
hmm
been very anxious over the last couple of days?
What's
What
that?
is what has been Yanni's disposition over the last couple of days?
Well, she's exhausted. She doesn't know what's the matter.
Okay. So, Tim, would you mind if we did a session with Yanni?
No, by all means.
Okay. So, how old is Yanni?
She's 6.
6. Okay. All right. So, since I have your permission, okay, one of the things that I want you to pay attention to is I want you to pay attention to her eyes, okay? And I want you to kind of pay attention and let me know how her disposition is over the rest of the day, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and tap into her energy because I have your permission. Okay. So, with animals, they feel just the rawness of the emotion, okay? So we're going to work on two things. We're going to do a general release, and then we're going to work on her liver, okay? And it is a girl, correct?
Correct.
Oh, okay, perfect. I don't want to keep calling her if it's a boy. Okay, so we're going to ask, Yoni, do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it depression, frustration, indecisive, panic? Panic is right there. Okay, do we need to know anything about this? No, so we're going to release this panic. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, odd rows, even, 2, 4? Is it depression, frustration? Frustration is right there. Okay, do we need to know anything about this? No, we're going to release this frustration. And did we release that? Yes. Do you have a trapped emotion? No. Okay, so perfect. We are going to work on her liver now. All right, so we're going to ask, do you have a trapped emotion in your liver? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows 1? Is it abandonment, betrayal? Betrayal is right there. Do we need to know anything? No. We're going to release this betrayal. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion in your liver? No. Okay. So it's going to be interesting. She's going to breathe here a little bit deeper in just a second. And so, Tim, one of the things that I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you start at her nose, and you're just going to run your hand over her head, down her spine, clear to the base of her tail. Now that's interesting. Can you see the dog's expressions change? That is very, very fascinating to me. Okay, so now we're going to ask, Yanni, do you have a trapped emotion? No. Is there a trapped emotion in your liver? Yes. Is it in column A, odd rows 1? Is it abandonment? Yes. Okay. Do we need to know anything? No. We're going to release this abandonment. Okay. And did we release that? Yes. Is there a trapped emotion in your liver? No. All right. So with that, I'm going to tap out of Yanni's energy. Okay. So you're going to have to kind of let us know how she's doing over the next little. How does she feel to you right now?
I think a little calmer.
Okay. Now I can see the difference in her eyes, like she's starting to like get drowsy and all of that kind of stuff. But of course, she's being held in complete love. So that's one of the reasons why the love is there and the relaxing is there. So I think it's wonderful. But you're going to have to keep in contact. Just let me know how she does over the next couple of days. See if she's, of course, I keep startling her now. Sorry. But she is beautiful. What type of dog is she?
She's a cardigan corgi.
Oh, she's just too cute.
They have tails where the Pembrokes don't.
So, okay. So there's a couple of things that I want you to be aware of with her. Okay, so one is she's going to just need the reassurance over the next couple of days that you're okay and that she's okay. So every time you can, you're just going to reassure her that she's doing great and that you're okay. You know, one of the biggest stresses that our animals have is they're very concerned about our well-being. So it's making sure that we are taking care of their and making sure that we reassure them that we're okay. All right. Okay, so I hope that everybody is enjoying their sessions today, and I hope that if you have questions that come up, then go ahead and get a hold of me, and I'll do my best to answer every single one of them that comes up. Okay, and I guess Michelle, I'm going to turn the time back kind of over to you, and we'll kind of go from there.
All right, Althea, how can everyone get a hold of you for a session?
Okay, so one of the best ways is to get a hold of me on Instant Messenger. You can find me at Althea Mitchell. It's the quickest way. I do have Messenger on my phone, and it's the quickest way to get a hold of me. Because I have sessions all day, that would be the preference, is to go ahead and get a hold of me on Messenger, because then I can message you in between clients or sessions or while I'm driving, not while I'm driving, while my husband is driving down the road. Because I don't text and drive because I am precious cargo. That's one of the best ways. The other thing that you can do is you can follow me on Facebook at Direct Emotions LLC. And right now we're doing a 40-day challenge where we are taking a look at how to rise above situations that cause us stress, and that kind of thing. So you can always follow me there. The other way that you can get a hold of me, of course, is Direct Emotion LLC at gmail.com. You can also email me for a session and everything like that. Sessions are really wonderful. They can be taken in bulk, they can be taken one at a time. And of course, the preference is always up to you how you want to do the sessions because it's all about you. So I hope that people will reach out.
Yes.
Thank you for doing this today. I'm so glad you're able to come on today and showcase your gift. It's been a wonderful time listening to how other people respond to what you do. It's always a great thing too. And it's always a great time when people can feel a little release within their world that's going on, because we all have so many different things that are happening on a regular basis.
Yes.
So I want to say thank you guys all. Hang on. I'm just going to tap out of the live stream, but I still want to talk.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Michelle, and thanks for everybody for your participation.